Hi, I'm so excited that you are here with me today on Real Talk. It's a real blessing to have you here with me today. I don't know what time you are literally tuning into this. Maybe it's in the morning, or maybe it's in the afternoon, or maybe it's at night. Whatever time you are tuning in, I'm excited that you are here. Well, my friend, Real Talk is really about your spiritual walk with a holy and a righteous God. Not only that, but Real Talk is about your mental health. And so what I'm attempting to do here with you is to integrate these two into your life so that you will become everything that God desires you to become. I need you right now to share this word with somebody. Can you press the subscribe button right there on your screen and share this word with somebody? Well, I'm going to the book of Psalms. Psalms 139, verse 13 to 16. And this is what the Word of God says. Keep in mind that David is speaking out of his life, and he has a concept of himself that is so healthy. This is what David is saying to us right now. In verse 39, he says, "For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest part of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which is in accordance were fashioned, when as ye yet was none of them." Well, my friend, I want to talk to you today, right now, where you are, about confronting the lies of a distorted self. Confronting the lies of a distorted self. The other day I was going through reading, and I've also engaged people who have this particular problem. It's called anorexia. Anorexia, yes. Anorexia is an intense fear of gaining weight or becoming fat. It's a self-evaluation that are unduly influenced by weight and shape. In other words, the person's concept, they see themselves as normal, but others don't see what they see. You see, my friend, anorexia literally has its roots in low self-esteem, because the person has not been able to engage who they are, and they have a false concept of who they are. And they say that anorexia literally has comorbidity. What does that mean? That means that not only is there a reduction in their weight, but there are other problems that go along with it, like anxiety and like depression. You see, my friend, I'm bringing this disorder to your attention because it's possible that somebody is not seeing themselves in the right way. Others are seeing things about them, but they are not seeing who they are. And as I said, anorexia has its roots in low self-esteem. And my friend, I don't know what your concept is or how you see yourself, but there are so many false concepts in terms of how people see themselves. Like, for example, somebody might be saying, I am my past mistakes. People often struggle to move beyond past failures. They believe that they are unchangeable. How about this one? I can't change who I am. Some people have that concept about themselves. I just can't change who I am. The perception that personal growth cannot happen is a false, and it's not true. How about this one? My emotions define me. Some people believe that it's their emotions that is giving them definition, helping them to understand who they are. How about this one? I need a partner to feel complete. Ooh. I need somebody else so that I will feel whole, so that I will feel like I'm somebody. How about this one? My opinions don't matter as much. Oh, I believe once you have a proper concept of yourself, you know that your opinions count, and you know that what you say matters. And let me just throw this one at you for the last time, because we're looking at confronting false concepts, confronting false lies. How about this one? I'm not thin enough. Wow. And when we're looking at anorexia, that's part of the problem. They are forever trying to approximate themselves to something that is not a reality. And as a result, they are constantly losing weight. Well, my friend, if we are going to really understand ourselves, I'm of the opinion that we need to look into the Word of God. Why? Because the Word of God will always give you a proper definition of who you are. Come with me. The first thing I see in this text, here it is the powerful protection of who we are. There is a powerful protection in terms of who we are. Did you see it right there in verse 13? Look what the Word of God says. For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. Wow. Thou hast covered me. Thou hast protected me. I looked up that word cover. It means to knit and to weave. When I was in my mother's womb, what David is saying is that God was knitting me together. He was weaving my personality. He was forming me into an image that would ultimately give him glory and give him praise. The word of God says, you covered my inward parts. Now that's a dynamic word, because the inward parts are literally talking about my inward parts, your kidneys, your heart, your lungs. All of that was literally covered and protected by an awesome God. And what David is saying, he's saying, I'm thanking God for the miracle of conception, that I was born, that I was shapen in his image. So what are you saying? Our identity comes from the things that God says about us. Is what God says about you, my friend, that matters. Not sometimes what you might be saying about yourself, but your understanding of who you are needs to come out of the Word of God. There's a second thing I want to say in the Word. Are you ready, my friend? Come with me as we go into the Word of God. I'm so excited that you're here. Here's the second thing. Here it is. The production and purpose of who we are. There's a production that's going on, and there's a purpose that God has in mind for you. Listen to what it says in verse 14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Wow. He is absolutely amazed at what God has literally done in his life. He exalts the greatness of God. He says that you are a great God. You are an awesome God. I am absolutely amazed at how intricate, how awesome, how great you are. Each human body has trillions of cells. All human cells contain 46 chromosomes. In the female, the sex chromosomes are what? XX. And in the males, it's XY. That's why the man basically determines whether one is a female or a male. And what David is saying here is that God, you are so awesome. You have created my personality. Whether you are an extrovert, dominant, direct and decisive, or whether you are an introvert, stable, steady and secure, the reality is that you were made in the divine image of God. Since you've been made in his image, you are not worthless, you are not junk, you are not cheap, you are not yesterday's news, you're not an old hat, you're not a has-been, you are not finished, you are not the tail, but you, I'm talking to you right now, you are the head. Can I go through it one more time? Let me go through it. I told you, first of all, the powerful protection of who we are. I told you, secondly, the production and purpose of who we are. And thirdly, here it is, the predestined and plan for who we are. God's got a plan. Think about that. God's got a design for your life. He says it right there in verse 16. Thy eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book. I had not been birthed yet, but you saw my substance. You knew all about me. Oh, you knew who I was going to be. Oh, and you're the kind of God who knew everything about me. This is really talking about the sovereignty of God, that God has a plan, that God has a plan, and that you are so important to him that he has literally put you in his book. God knows everything about you. God has written down your days in a book. God has allotted the amount of time you're going to have here on this planet. God will be with you from the womb to the tomb. You have to realize that you are here not by chance, not by coincidence, but by the hand of Almighty God. Well, my friend, it's been a blessing sharing the Word of God with you today. Keep in mind, as I've said before, Real Talk is about your spiritual walk with God. Will you walk with God today? And not only that, but Real Talk is about your mental health. Well, my friend, please press this subscribe button right there on the screen, and I believe that God will bless you. Bye for now, Dr. Bair.